Hello, my Capricorns. It's Maria, InsightfulAstrology.com. Welcome to October. We have quite a bit of astrology to talk about. October will be an eventful month for everyone, in different ways, of course. But the headline news overall is the fact that Venus, the planet of love, money, self-worth, values, and just relationship in general, is turning retrograde on October 5th and remains retrograde until November 16th. This is always an interesting time. It happens every 18 months, once every 18 months for about 40 days. And for you guys, Venus will originally retrograde in your 11th house, which is the social area of your chart. There is a very strong suggestion that you are reevaluating your social life and your love life. Okay, your dreams, your aspirations, your greatest hopes, whatever they are, you're reevaluating everything. It's kind of like you're at this point in October where you wonder, does this relationship meet me where I am? And furthermore, does this relationship have the potential to go the distance and reach my dreams with me, my ultimate goals? You know, you guys are forward thinkers. You're moving ahead. You're always climbing the next mountain. And you want a partner who can not only keep up with you, but shares your vision of where you're going in life. You're all about the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan. And if your relationship is not sharing that mutual vision of long-term potential, you might really be questioning it this month. And it's also possible that you might be having difficulty with a friend, a relationship, a social relationship. Or if you're not personally having a problem with a friend, one of your friends might be going through a really dark time. And I'm sorry to say that. You're going to hear about it. You're going to be asked to kind of support this person through whatever they're going through. But you're going to feel a little hopeless about the situation because really, what can you do? When someone is going through a certain amount of pain and suffering or a crisis, sometimes all we could do is sit there and hold their hand when they cry. We can't make it better. We can't walk through that valley of darkness for them. Even though we want to, we can't. And for some of you guys, you might be watching a friend go through that, and I'm sorry, but I know you'll be there for this person if that is you. And so, this Venus retrograde on the 15th, Mercury will have moved into your 11th house as well and will make a connection to Venus retrograde. So what's important about this is that right around that day, there should be a conversation, a decision, a kind of knowing about what the next step is with your situation, with your love life situation, with your personal goals and aspirations. And you are reevaluating them. Aside from reevaluating whether or not your partner and relationship fits with them, you're actually reevaluating them, period. You're saying, all right, is this still what I want for the long term? Whatever you're reaching for, whatever that big pie in the sky goal was for you, whether it's a educational achievement, a career achievement, whatever it is, does it really have the same appeal for you that it did for so long? That's a theme for you guys to untangle this month. And you have to be brutally honest with yourself, because if it doesn't, you really do have to let go of it during the Venus retrograde. So aside from that, I will tell you that there is a really important new moon happening for you guys on the 8th. And this new moon falls in your 10th house of career, profession, status. Again, the legacy that you want to leave. That's the 10th house. It's your calling in life. This is your professional career path. And reputation is everything for a Capricorn. You guys are very aware of how other people view you, and you want them to hold you in high regard. And very often you are extremely esteemed and respected as an authority in your field and just as an authority in general, because you have that presence, you have that rock solid persona that everybody is in awe of, and they know that you're going to go the distance no matter what. But this new moon is saying you're going to go the distance in a new direction. There's a new path. There's a new opportunity right here for you. And it must tie into this whole reevaluation of your long-term aspirations. Somehow this is related. You are ready to embrace a new path, either a professional new path altogether, or a new dimension in your current profession in some way. But here's the caveat to this new moon. While it is a new moon and a time of new beginnings, that new moon is square Pluto in your sign, saying you might come on too strong as you're trying to assert this and push this forward. Okay, so here's the analogy, and you're going to apply this to your career. This is a perfect analogy. You ever try to open a pickle jar, or, jar of ketchup, or some kind of big jar that you're trying to open it and you can't, and you're like, the more force you use, you basically just spraining your hand and your fingers are exhausted and you're frustrated because you're like, why can't I get the damn pickle jar open, right? That's what you're going to be doing in terms of your career. This new opportunity, this thing that you want to start, is the pickle jar. That's the new moon. The new moon is the pickle jar. Your hand trying to force the pickle jar open is Pluto in your sign, the square that this new moon makes. Guys, here's how you use this new moon energy effectively. Do you know the best way to open a pickle jar? You don't use force. You don't use brain. You don't use brawn. You use brains. You take a butter knife. You slip the butter knife into the pockets of the jar that allow the air to be released. Then you listen for that air whoosh, the suction, to be released. And the jar just opens effortlessly. That's what you need to do with this new moon. Do not try to force the pickle jar open with your hands. Use strategy. It will serve you well. Trust me. Okay? So, I don't think I've ever given that analogy or talked about that before. It's so funny, the things that come to you when you're doing these videos and you're analyzing the astrology. I mean, guys, I feel that so strongly for you with this new moon. But I also know that the potential for success is amazing for you guys now. There will be a little bit of a delay because Venus is retrograde and Venus rules this new moon. Libra is ruled by Venus. But again, as long as you use that butter knife to open your pickle jar, you're good to go overall. So, aside from that new moon, we're going to have a full moon in your 5th house. The full moon in your 5th house. Hello, love life, drama. Guys, since May, the middle of May, Uranus went into your 5th house of love, shaking everything up, changing the game completely. If you're single, completely single, all of a sudden there are these complicated but amazingly exciting things happening in your love life. If you're in a relationship, this might have to do with your children, lots of changes with your children or creative projects, okay? So this full moon is happening on the 24th in your 5th house, exactly conjunct Uranus. There is a sudden change. There's also an opposition to Venus retrograde, which will be exact on October 31st. So, yes, there is a sudden change. you're going to have a sudden change of heart about someone and a relationship situation. This is either going to be a choice to suddenly break up and let go with somebody, or it's going to be a choice to suddenly reconcile with someone from your past. One or the other, because Venus is retrograde, so that implies this past love situation. Venus rules your 5th house of love and your 10th house of career. And both lunations this month are in signs ruled by Venus, and Venus is retrograde. So there's so much about cleaning up the past or going back to the past, resolving the past, connected to career and love for you guys. It's not even funny. And God, I mean, this full moon, forget about trying to open the pickle jar. This full moon is literally going to be like, the pickle jar is going to explode without you even touching it because of Uranus. And so I do see a radical, dramatic change for you in love. That opposition on the 31st actually happened on September 12th as well. So go back to the middle of September and think about, well, what was going on in my love life? What was going on with one of my kids? What sudden changes were happening there? That's repeating. Or with a creative project. This might be a creative project connected to your career and the new career situation that you're trying to get off the ground. Could be that as well. Ultimately, it's going to make you come alive. It's going to be exciting and stimulating. But you will feel a strong sense of instability that last week of October. And you kind of have to just make peace with the instability. The not knowing what's going to happen next. That element of surprise that's exciting and terrifying all at once. That's what you guys are facing the end of October, relating to your love life with a child or with a creative pursuit. Okay? Don't get too nervous if you have children that something horrible is happening. It's almost like they might be asserting their independence and have a little rebellious situation, depending on their age, of course. It'll be appropriate for their age. If you have a 2-year-old, they might not want to wear pants outside. If you have an 18-year-old, it's a totally different kind of rebellion, okay? So you'll let people be who they are in October. That's another piece of advice I need to give you. Because this Venus-Uranus opposition and the Venus retrograde, this falls across your social axis. Basically, everyone that's important that you love. Children, lovers, friends, your social circle. If you can just let people be who they are this month, instead of who you need them to be, you might have a lot more success navigating the month. At the same time, however, as it relates to a committed personal relationship, you can let someone be who they are, but if them being who they are and their path is no longer aligned to yours, you have to be honest with yourself and the other person about that and make decisions accordingly. All right? So guys, I hope you make the most of October. It's going to be quite a dynamic month for you, as you can tell. I love you guys. Bye.